2018 has been a busy year for AfriForum. AfriForum pursued a variety of campaigns on a variety of levels. Two of these campaigns in particular were the campaigns for the prioritizing of farm murders and for the protection of property rights in South Africa. These campaigns have led to a lot of talk inside and outside of South Africa about AfriForum, what the organization represents, what its views are, and what it has been saying to role players abroad. Unfortunately, we find that there are certain individuals in South Africa, some of them posing as independent journalists, who seem to be more concerned with propagating their preconceived ideas regardless of what the facts are. The result is that a fair degree of fake news have been published in recent months about AfriForum, what the organization represents, and what its views are. AfriForum is currently involved with a variety of complaints at the Broadcasting Complaints Commission and the Press Ombudsman regarding news articles that were published in which certain claims were made regarding AfriForum that were blatantly false. So, let's take a look at the facts. Firstly, AfriForum believes in freedom of the press as a cornerstone for a well-functioning democracy. The freedom of the press is something that has to be protected and cherished. A problem, however, arises when journalists pretend to be neutral or objective while clearly executing double standards in their reporting, or while clearly choosing to focus on certain issues while ignoring other issues. In some cases, some of these people are so eager to get to AfriForum that they are prepared to destroy their own credibility in the process. So let's look at some of the claims that have been attributed to AfriForum. Number one, white genocide. At AfriForum, we have repeatedly stated our position. AfriForum does not believe that there is a white genocide happening in South Africa due to the fact that what is happening in South Africa, as horrible as it may be, does not comply with the definition of genocide. As a matter of fact, I have written an entire chapter in my book, Kill the Boer, about why the scourge of farm murders, which is a very serious crisis, does not comply with the definition. Stating that farm murders do not comply with the definition of genocide doesn't mean that it is not a problem. And stating that it is a problem doesn't mean that it is equated to genocide. Number two, being alt-right. The alt-right is a movement that is associated with racism, with anti-Semitism, with beliefs of superiority, with hate speech, etc. None of which AfriForum agree with, and all of which AfriForum has strongly condemned. People who are typically associated with the alt-right are people who are uncomfortable with AfriForum due to the fact that AfriForum do not share their views. AfriForum has condemned people like these and has made it very clear that the organization does not want to be associated with people who share these beliefs. Number three, campaigning for white rights. AfriForum has taken deliberate effort not to express our goals and our campaigns in racial terms because we believe that it would be destructive. AfriForum is a principle-based organization. It is a civil rights organization and an organization based on the protection of minority rights from a principled perspective. AfriForum has represented black people in many cases and has also gone to court on behalf of black people and black communities in many cases, and we intend to continue to do so. Number four, farm murders and special treatment. AfriForum's campaign for the prioritizing of farm murders is not a campaign to get special treatment for farmers. AfriForum does not believe that farmers are special or deserving of special treatment. AfriForum's campaign for the prioritizing of farm murders is a plea for equal treatment. Why do we say we want equal treatment? Because farm murders is a very unique crime that has very unique consequences. And it's a basic policing principle that when you deal with unique crimes with unique consequences, you need a unique and a focused counter strategy. There are many focused counter strategies in South Africa because there are many priority crimes that are regarded as such and dealt with as such, including the poaching of rhinos, including copper cable theft, including cash and transit heists, including gang-related violence, and including violence against women and children. However, when we talk about farm murders, the argument is then that this should not be prioritized because farmers shouldn't get special treatment. The fact is that farm murders as a phenomenon is a unique crime And if we give farmers equal treatment, it would imply that we would acknowledge that it is a unique crisis and we would respond to this unique crisis with a focused counter strategy. Number 5, it has been claimed that AfriForum is pro-apartheid, which is blatantly false. AfriForum has repeatedly condemned apartheid. However, AfriForum has called for consistency in the evaluation of history. AfriForum has stated that it doesn't make sense to regard apartheid as a crime against humanity, while in the same light regard communism as something that should be tried and tested, despite the fact that communism has led to the deaths of 100 million people. AfriForum's views on apartheid is that it is a system that has failed miserably, in which people's human dignity was violated, and a system that should not be returned to. It is a system that we should learn from, and a system that should be condemned. However, we must evaluate history consistently, and not through a lens of double standards. Number 6, black people cannot be farmers. It has been argued by members of parliament that AfriForum believes that black people cannot be farmers, which again is blatantly false. The South African government has released statistics about the failure of land reform in South Africa. According to government statistics, more than 90% of land reform projects have failed, where commercial farms revert to subsistence farms or to squatter camps. In quoting these statistics, the message is that government-enforced or government-driven land reform policies fail. This does not mean that black people cannot be farmers. Of course they can be farmers, and there are many successful commercial farmers in South Africa who are black. Number 7, farm murders affect only white people. AfriForum has never said that farm murders have affected only white people, and AfriForum has repeatedly said that people of all races are affected by farm murders. However, the issue of race with regard to farm murders is not irrelevant. It is a phenomenon, and it is part of a wider variety of elements and criteria that need to be considered when discussing farm murders. To argue that race is irrelevant would be naive. To argue that it is only white people who are targeted would be irresponsible. Number 8, AfriForum only condemns black racism. AfriForum's entire campaign against racism is based on a plea for consistency. Unfortunately, in South Africa, we do have a set of double standards, where black racism and white racism is not responded to with equal condemnation. This is something that needs to be broken. AfriForum has repeatedly and publicly condemned incidents of white racism and will continue to do so. AfriForum's campaign is, however, a plea for the fact that black racism must be condemned to the same extent that white racism is already condemned. Winston Churchill said that you will never reach your destination if you stop to throw stones at every dog that barks at you. AfriForum isn't able to respond to every news article in which fake news is published about the organization. We will, however, continue to communicate who we are, what we stand for, and what we intend to achieve. And we would like for you, as the viewer of this show, to help us in pointing it out when fake news is published regarding AfriForum. My name is Ernst, and this is your fact sheet.